And as 100 Americans remain in Afghanistan after the U.S. troop withdrawal, Gold Star families are left with a heavy heart after the fall to the Taliban. Military veterans advocate Jane Horton is a member of one of those Gold Star families. She lost her husband, Army Specialist Christopher David Horton, nearly 10 years ago in Afghanistan. And Jane joins us now for more on the impact the U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan has had on Gold Star families. Jane, thanks so much for being here, and thanks for the sacrifice you and your family have made for this country. I know you've said that Gold Star families feel defeated by the fall of Afghanistan and that a massive crisis is now playing out in the military community. What do you mean by that?
Thank you so much for having me, ma'am, and thank you for letting me speak on this subject. This has hurt our hearts so much. It has been a crisis for the military community. Over the past 20 years, we've poured our blood, sweat, and tears into Afghanistan, and to see the chaotic withdrawal, play out in front of all of us, and for the country to be paying attention for the first time, really, for many people in 20 years is really heartbreaking for it to end this way.
And it's Terry Moran here in Washington. You mentioned the troop withdrawal there. It's chaos, and it hurt and was sad and shocking, I think, for all Americans, but I imagine especially for Gold Star families to see it end like that.
Yes, sir. As many Gold Star families have said, our hearts and our husbands and our children and our mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers' blood is in the soil in Afghanistan. And I would give my husband 1,000 times over for this country, but I expect more out of my country. I would love to get the American people more involved in this country, in the country where we actually have a say. A lot of times people refuse to try or get involved in the policies, and our service members have no say in the policies on what happens on the ground. They're just willing to sign a blank checks for their lives. And I just hope people can get more involved and pay attention, and there can be accountability and after-action review of this.
And Jane, I know you're also a former senior advisor for the Office of the Secretary of Defense and a former congressional military liaison for the Embassy of Afghanistan in Washington, D.C. So given both your professional and your personal experience, what lessons do you hope that we as a country learn from this withdrawal? How do we move forward?
What a wonderful question. I think we move forward by honoring our fallen and honoring our service members, but also finding out how we do it better in the future, how we can get the whole country involved in our wars instead of just the 1% that are fighting them. And I think that there does have to be an after-action review of what went wrong, how did it end up like this, and how can we do better? Because if we're taking our best and our brightest that are volunteering their lives, and 20 years, there's people with over 20 deployments in this war. We've got to do better, and that starts with the American people being engaged, knowing who their member of Congress is, reaching out to media outlets, writing articles, and just being involved in policy for those that are, again, have volunteered and raised their right hand to defend us.
And Jane, this country is so divided on so many things. There is one issue, it seems to me, that nearly all Americans share, and that is honor for those who served, especially those who've fallen, and solidarity with their families. But really, in a realistic way, how can somebody like me how can we honor those who've given their lives to this country and the families that they left behind?
What another beautiful question, sir. Thank you for asking that. Remembering their names, remembering their stories, and knowing that they could do anything they wanted to do, but they chose to serve their country. And also knowing that they loved what was behind them in America more than they hated what was in front of them. And so doing something for the country, giving back. One of my favorite quotes is, "E pluribus unum," out of many we are one. Remembering that we are better as a nation out of all the different pieces that we are, and we come together as one. We're stronger together. And so us as a nation, reaching out to our military veterans community, getting involved in our country, and remembering their names are some key ways that we can honor them.
Amen to that. Jane Horton, military veterans advocate and Gold Star widow. Thanks very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.